Ich bin mal der Hellblade durch. Ich alles deaktiviert, was ich nicht brauche, ja. Ich habe auch diesmal, ja, mein Motherboard-Lüfter aktiviert. Und der dreht schon ab 50, ab 50 Grad dreht er sich. Also er wird sich jetzt dauerhaft drehen. Vor allem bei der Hitze, die wir hier bald haben werden, oder eher ich hier bald haben werde, ist das ein Segen. So. Ihr habt Ton, das Spiel startet. Ich habe fast keine Auslastung. Beten wir zu Gott, dass es funktioniert. Und zwar direkt. Nicht so wie letztes Mal. Oh, wow. Der Wahnsinn. Es funktioniert nicht. Wer hätte das gedacht? Warum ist es jedes Mal aktiviert? Obwohl es deaktiviert sein sollte. Versteh's nicht. Warum speichert das Spiel meine Einstellungen nicht? Ich muss sie jedes Mal neu tätigen. Das ist total nervig. Also bei mir selber leckt es nicht, aber halt im Stream. Das ist doch dumm, Alter. Dass er die Einstellung nicht speichert. Hat er es gespeichert? Ich verstehe es wirklich nicht. Warum der jedes Mal das zurücksetzt, die Einstellungen. Das sind immer noch die. Nee. Es sind immer noch die falschen Einstellungen. Ich verstehe es wirklich nicht. Einmal bitte zurücksetzen.
They're coming for you now. It's coming back.
Hallo? Ich glaube, es ist immer noch laggy, ne? Aber ich glaube, es geht einigermaßen. Ich darf die Mein Gott, warum ist dieses Spiel so scheiße? Wirklich. Letztes Mal hat alles funktioniert, jetzt funktioniert wieder nichts mehr. Das ist doch unglaublich. Ein Moment. Immer. Okay, ne, muss ich mir kaufen. Immer. So, die ersten 12 Kerne, das ist richtig. Ich wähle jetzt hier auch die ersten 12 Kerne aus. Immer. Das ist total nervig, muss ich echt sagen. Einen habe ich vergessen, einen Kern. So. Hat OBS das gespeichert mit den Kernen? OBS hat das gespeichert mit den Kernen, ja. Ich deaktiviere nochmal den High-End-Modus und aktiviere den nochmal. Kannst du mir nicht erzählen, ey. Und nochmal das Spiel starten. Ihr kennt das ja. Das hatten wir auch schon im letzten Stream. Und es hat auf einmal funktioniert, aus dem Nichts heraus. Sowas von dumm, ne? Also wirklich. Ich habe keine Ahnung warum. Es nervt mich aber jedes Mal. Und das Ding ist, es leckt nur im Stream. Bei mir tut es das nicht. So, ich habe eine Ausrüstung von 0,1 jetzt. Ja, es ist alles auf hoch, bis auf Schatten, die sind auf Mittel. Hier ist alles aus.
They're coming for you now.
Es geht direkt hoch. Es geht wieder direkt hoch. Ich verstehe es nicht. Ja, auch nicht, warum die Statistik. Ich die Statistik nicht, so geht das. So.
They're coming. They're coming to get you.
Jetzt funktioniert's, oder? Jetzt geht's einigermaßen.
Focus. That's the only way. You can do this. Focus. Focus. There's nowhere to run to. There's no
In the sea of corpses, the corpse waved through itself over the ones I loved. The ship broke up under them, the ship that had sailed from the land of shining fields. Their memorial stone is sacred. Come not here in the sun. Come not with a sword. Come not crying over a naked corpse. Come not with disturbed mind.
She's lost. She's lost. She doesn't know where she's trying to get to. Is there any escape? Is there any escape?
Do you hear the suffering, Samuel? Does your precious gift of sight let you see the souls that rot here in this sea of corpses? Do you feel the blood running cold on your skin? Do you hear their endless cries? Do you smell their putrid wounds? They were once brothers, sisters, and loved ones. And look at what you have done to them. All because you were a coward, because you ran from your curse instead of facing it. When you turned your back on your father, Zimwell, you turned your back on the gods and let the darkness wreak havoc on your people. Why must they pay for your heresy?
Willst du mich verarschen?
Quickly get up! She's hurt. She won't make it.
verstehe es gerade nicht, warum das hochgeht. Ich muss mich gerade konzentrieren, ehrlich gesagt. Alter, willst du mich verarschen? Wie kann der sich bewegen in meiner Zeit? Das ist Bullshit.
You're close. She finished him. Who is it? Galina. Where are you?
Do you hear, Senua? Do you hear the voice of your mother, Galina? She calls for you, Senua. Go to her. Answer her pitiful call.
Ich muss kurz eine Sache nachgucken, bevor ich jetzt dahin gehe, ja. Läuft der Sound von dem Spiel? Ja. Okay, mehr wollte ich gar nicht nachgucken. Vielleicht noch Grafik, vielleicht auch noch mal ein bisschen runter. Pflanzenbewuchs brauche ich jetzt hier nicht, brauche ich jetzt hier nicht. Sichtweite Mitte, ja, das ist okay.
The darkness took her life and it will take yours. It's taking you. Mother! I need you! Help me! You're both dead. You both surrendered to the voices.
Your dear beloved was powerless against the darkness when it came for her. She too had a sight. She too doubted the gods and let the darkness infest her. But she didn't run. She escaped the only way she knew how. She gave her life to the gods. If only you had done the same, the world would have been spared this horror. It's not too late. She's calling for you. Why don't you join her?
Ich höre den Typen nur auf einem Ohr, das ist sehr merkwürdig. Ah, mein Gott. Das ist laggy, ne? Ich verstehe es nicht. Ich verstehe es nicht, warum es so laggt. Was ist denn los mit meinem Computer? Ich verstehe es nicht. Gefühlt stelle ich heute alles noch schlechter ein, als es letztes Mal war, ja? Es nervt mich einfach, dass ich sehe, dass es laggt an der Seite. Es nervt mich einfach und ich weiß nicht, woran es liegt. Irgendwas spielt mit OBS heute einfach nicht. Letzte Woche hat ja auch alles ja, nicht alles, aber letztes Mal hat auch alles funktioniert. Dann stelle ich sogar alles auf Mittel. Die Cam ist doch jetzt schon wieder ein bisschen laggy, Machen wir es halt so rum. Dass der in meiner Zeit sich normal bewegen kann, ne, ist lächerlich. Willst du mich verarschen? Ich hab gerollt. Es ist immer noch laggy. Hallo. Ich habe A gedrückt, das ist so lächerlich, ne? Boah, das geht mir zu lang hier, ey.
fight on. Maybe you too should suffer with your brethren in this rot and let your blood seep into the seas and the rivers of hell. Isn't that what you deserve after all you've done?
Oh God!
Give the darkness what it wants, let it swallow your soul and destroy all that you are. Why are you fighting for someone who's already dead? Just look around you. What hope
Ich habe schon
is
wieder
there
A
for
gedrückt, das ist
your
unglaublich.
soul could be rescued?
Das ist so lächerlich!
Thank you
Wirklich, ich drücke die ganze Zeit A!
to his friends, to his father.
Don't let them get behind you. Keep them in sight. Behind you. Watch out. Focus. Focus now. He's finished. Stop them.
Oh, der Kampf geht mir echt zu lang, muss ich sagen.
End it. End it now. This is nearly the end.
Alter. Wie lange dieser Kampf einfach ging, ne?
You're both dead. You both surrendered to the voices. The darkness has taken you. Galena and Senwa. Galena and Senwa. You are lost. There's nothing you can do. You're dead.
Ja. Weiß ich ja, dass das Sound läuft, deswegen minimiere ich jetzt einfach mal OBS.
And daughter dead in the sea of corpses.
Kaum minimiere ich OBS, leckt alles. Willst du mich verarschen? Es ist einfach ein Trauerspiel. Es ist einfach ein Trauerspiel. Und das auf mehreren Ebenen. Aha, das wirft mich voll raus. Weil ich weiß, dass es bei euch leckt. Aber ich kann nicht noch weiter von der Grafik runter. Oh mein Gott. Hey, geht's dir gut? Ich hoffe ja. Ich würde dich ja erlösen von deinem Elend, aber...
I can't fight it anymore. Not on my own. Where are you, Mother? I want to be with you. That night, she gave up on her world to follow in the footsteps of her mother. To go to a place where the darkness couldn't reach her.
Senua, look at me.
Do you hear them? They're calling for me.
We've lost so many. And I've lost my father. I can't lose you.
You said it. I have blood on my hands.
I didn't say that. You've done nothing wrong.
Symbol was right. Everyone will suffer.
Zimbel is a fake. He is a hateful, bitter liar. He's poison. And his words still haunt you. Who do you trust? Him? Or me? Do you still believe in me, Senua? In us? Come back to me. Please. Don't let this darkness come between us.
The hardest battles are fought in the mind. He gave her the sword with which to fight in more ways than one. And she gave him her word, never to surrender. All she needed was a little help. A little hope.
Okay. Ah ja, wir haben uns ja hier nie wegbewegt. Ich erinnere mich. Wir haben uns ja hier nie wegbewegt. Bei diesem wunderschönen Strand. Wir sind bis jetzt einmal, glaube ich, oder zweimal gestorben, ne? Und ich merke auch, dass ich gar nicht lippensynchron bin. Hallo. Kamera. Ich ignoriere euch Stimmen. Nein. Nein, nein. Nein. Ja, nein. Nein, ihr seid nicht hier. Nein. Das ist toll. Ja, nein.
Where have you been? Here she is. Don't worry. We're here to help you. You don't have to do this on your own anymore. There's a way in.
Into the mountain.
Can you see it?
Shall we tell her where to go?
It's not far.
Wir waren jetzt 3-mal schon hier.
Just up there. Listen to us. That's it.
Shall we tell her where to go?
Shall we?
Does she know which way to look? Does she know her way into the mountain?
She's a good girl, isn't she? So clever.
There's a door.
You can do it.
You can see it.
Come on, Senna.
Go away. I'm not listening.
Ja, danke, dass du auch mal was sagst, nur.
I will tell you of a great hero named Sigurd, son of Sigmund, no less. Born after his father's death, Sigurd is cared for by the dwarf Rain. But Rain does not love the boy. Instead, he plans to use him for his own ends. You see, Rain's father possessed a great treasure given to him by the gods. But Rain's brother, Fafnir, killed his father and took the gold all for himself. Fafnir hid the treasure out on a heath and could not leave it. And from the evil in his heart, he turned into a dark creature. A dragon.
Okay. Okay. Kommen wir nochmal auf die andere Seite vorher. Wir haben fast alle Steine. Fast alle. Das macht mich echt glücklich. Gut, wir mussten einen Stein nachholen. Aber naja. Hier ist bestimmt auch nochmal ein Stein, oder? Nein, okay.
Something's behind the door.
What is it?
She can feel it.
No.
Don't open the door.
Don't go in.
Turn back. What's in there?
A great beast guards Helheim. Garm is its name, and it knows you are here, Senua. It can smell your stink. What are you afraid of, Senua? How would you say Dillion if you are too much of a coward to step into the shadows?
They can't stop me.
Then do it! The beast is stalking you from the shadows. Your sword is useless here. Don't be fooled. The beast is still here.
Who is it? Something there. It's the beast.
No,
No, it's not.
it's a trick.
She knows that. Does she? What is that voice?
Mother, do you hear that?
Don't fall for it.
It's me, Senua. It's so loud.
It's not her.
So full of hate.
It's a trap.
I just want to help them. Tell me what to do. Your father wants them to go away, and he only hurts me to silence them. But he's gone now. But they always come back. He says I will die if I go with them. They say that I'm already dead. No, they want me with them. Stop! That's why they crawl through the walls. Don't listen. Do you see them? Do you see their faces? Senua, help me! Help! Get me out of here! Don't go!
Where has she gone? She's disappeared again.
She shouldn't be here. She escaped the darkness. She took her own life to escape it. She can't remember when it started. When her mother lost her smile. Her eyes gazing past her towards a world she could not see. This is what happens if you reach for the underworld, he said. It was a lot to take in for a child. And the first time she felt the cold chill of fear. I don't talk much about her father, Zinbel. I suppose I just didn't want to risk upsetting her. But it doesn't matter now, does it?
Ich glaube, die Stimme, die ganze Zeit diese böse, dunkle Stimme, ist die von ihrem Vater, oder? Ich glaube schon. Nur ein bisschen stimmverzerrter. Ah, kommt mir bekannt vor. Hier unten noch was.
The light works. She can sense it. She's lighting the torch. It's not gonna help her. She's lighting darkness. Do you think you can keep away from the shadows if you light?
Überall muss Licht angemacht werden. Oh, hey, cool. Weil können wir erstmal nichts machen. Wahrscheinlich kommen wir später nochmal hin. Kann ich mir gut vorstellen. Alles muss angemacht werden. Okay. Es wäre sehr nervig, wenn die Fackel auf einmal ausgehen würde. Dann in die Richtung. Und hier haben wir nichts. Wahrscheinlich müssen wir da gleich echt runterspringen. Vielleicht soll ich auch erstmal einfach die Rune angucken. Es wäre smart so. Okay.
No, it's not. It's gonna burn out soon. She hasn't got much time. It's gonna burn out. She's too slow. It's not going to burn out.
The darkness will come again.
Stay here, light. Safe way down.
Ah, ist das P. Ha!
Plain sight. She has it. You have it. Keep going. Where's the next? Do you want to fight? These pointless rules. Do you think this is? Your mother's here. What have you collected? There's nothing behind the doors. Dillian, this is just another trial. It's just another trick. Just to distract her from her real mission. You think
Warum haben wir nichts?
your mother is trapped? You don't know anything.
Jetzt halt doch mal euer Maul hier, ihr Stimmen. Ich ignoriere euch. Ihr seid gar nicht da. Nein, nein.
The beast has been here. Everywhere.
Aufpassen, dass die Fackel nicht ans Wasser kommt.
Keep going.
Ganz vorsichtig.
She'll have to go under. She can't. She has to. She can't. The torch will go out. Don't let the torch go out. There's light in the distance. She has to. She can't do it. She can't do it. No. The light's gone out. Run! Run! Get through it as quick as you can. The panic is here. Stop! 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 Stay. You have to rest here on the side. Get to the next light. Just go quick, run! 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 Yeah, go! Fire! It's fine. How should it? Fire! She has to go towards him. She'll have to go through the darkness. Light. And she's too weak.
Licht, ja! Wir sind gerettet.
Keep you safe. You can see. Now she can find the room. She can find it. The light. See it. She has light. Where is it?
Was haben wir hier?
Feel free to search. Now you can see it.
Ein Stein, ja.
The light will guide you.
Rain the dwarf's sole desire is to possess this dragon's accursed treasure, and he uses Sigurd to reclaim it. He tells Sigurd the story of Fafnir's gold, and the good-hearted hero promises to slay the dragon if Rain would forge a strong sword for him. Sigurd remembers that his father once possessed a sword given to him by Odin. Odin broke the sword to bring about Sigmund's death, but Sigurd's mother still has the pieces. And so Rain reforges the famous sword. Sigurd uses the sword first to avenge his father, and then he and Rain go in search of Fafnir.
Okay. Keine Rune. Auch keine Runen.
Can you feel them? Can you see them? Where are they? She can't see them. She doesn't know.
Lass mich doch erst mal nach Fackeln gucken. Habt ihr mal ganz unruhig.
She has it. She did it. She's done it.
This place. It reminds her of the isolating, suffocating darkness that she lived through as a young girl. Imprisoned in her room at night, the faces in the dark, coming through the walls. She once thought everyone could see them. I mean, that's what children say all the time, isn't it? That there are monsters in the dark. by the time she realized that only she could see them. Her father, Zinbel, could see the monster in her.
The dragon Fafnir is so large and deadly that it would be impossible to kill him face to face. But each day, Fafnir crawls across the heath to find water. So Sigurd digs a pit in the dragon's path and lies in wait in it. When Fafnir slithers overhead, Sigurd sinks his sword into the dragon up to the hilt. Sigurd leaps from the pit, and Fafnir sees his killer. He warns Sigurd that the treasure will lead to his death, as it led to the death of all who owned it. Sigurd replies that death comes to all men, and every man would want to be wealthy until that day. And he takes the treasure.
Genau. Dann hatten wir jetzt hier 2 Runen, ne? Dann denke ich, fehlen noch 1 oder 2. Das bedeutet irgendwo am Anfang wahrscheinlich, ne? Wahrscheinlich auf der Seite, kann ich mir vorstellen. Aber zurückkommen wir auch nicht mehr. Ja, es muss hier irgendwo sein. Hier kann ich immer noch nichts machen.
Go anywhere without your light. Take the torch and move.
Ich schaue hier gerade schon, aber... Da ist es. Muss ich die Fackeln vielleicht wieder ausmachen? Nö. Da ist es. Ihr seht es auch. Da ist das Zeichen. Das funktioniert wieder mal nicht. Jetzt ist es dein Ernst?
The beast is crawling into your mind, searching for weakness. It found your mother and used her to trap you in here.
Did you see her die? I don't remember. I was only 5. They told me she escaped the darkness, that she's with the gods. But what if they lied? What if the darkness took her and trapped her here?
Bin ich mir sicher, dass ich jetzt alle habe? Eigentlich nicht, ne? Ne, da ging es im Wasser. Ich hoffe einfach mal, dass wir alle haben.
It's a trap. The beast is coming. Stupid baby. Without his head, you will never bring his soul back. His fate is sealed. Now it can see you at your weakest. The time you suffered as a child at the hands of your father Zindo while you pined for Dillian. Do you remember that darkness, Senua? The beast is bringing it back.
Mother, why did you leave me? This darkness, it's spreading. Father's keeping me away from the others. Away from Dillian. I won't give up. I'm not going to rot in here. I'm going to find Dillian.
Starke Worte. Unten waren wir doch gerade, oder? Wahrscheinlich ist das was anderes unten als vorher. Sieht aus wie eine Arena ein bisschen. Oder einfach nur Zaun. Ah. I see. Na toll.
Ignore the pain. Finish this now. Behind you. He's down. You won. Use your sword. Do it. Do it.
Zack.
Finish. Behind you. Behind you's right down.
Da ist meine Fackel. Nimm die Fackel, dankeschön. Da hatten wir ein S, aber kein R. Obwohl doch, da haben wir ein R. Aber auf der Seite ist nichts, ne? Hier haben wir auch nichts. Dass wir die Tür nicht in Brand stecken oder so, ne? Ah, okay. Ich wollte eigentlich nur nachgucken, ob da vielleicht nochmal eine Geschichte ist für uns.
She should have known. She should have. Why doesn't she learn? When will she learn? She doesn't understand.
Now the darkness has Dillian's soul.
And it will take it and never give it back.
She can search and search, but she will not find it.
She's let the dark.
Although Sigurd kills the dragon, Rain wants to keep Fafnir's gold all for himself. Rain also wants the strength and wisdom of the dragon, so he drinks its blood and asks Sigurd to roast Fafnir's heart for him. Sigurd does so, but when he touches the roasted heart to see if it is done, he burns his finger. Without thinking, he licks his finger and tastes the dragon's blood. In that moment, he understands the language of birds and hears them talk nearby.
Once she gets down there, she'll never come out. It's luring her down.
Wie es weitergeht.
Take her like it took her mother. Deeper.
Schon mal gut zu wissen, was wir noch keins übersehen haben.
Beast knows exactly where she's falling for it. Plays into his hands.
The darkness is coming.
Vorne haben wir noch eins.
Sigurd's newfound power lets him hear the birds speak. And they say, Sigurd should eat the heart himself. Rain wants Fafnir's gold. Sigurd should kill Rain before Rain kills him. Sigurd should find Brynhild the Valkyrie, who sleeps an enchanted sleep. Sigurd heeds the bird's advice. He kills Rain, eats Fafnir's roasted heart, and takes Fafnir's treasure. And he embarks on a new quest. To ride to Hinderfell and find Brynhild, the Valkyrie.
The darkness came.
Okay.
Where is she now? The lights run out. She'll die. She can't. She'll die. She has it.
Wahrscheinlich nicht da oben, wo wir nicht mehr hinkommen. Okay. Ich haben wir schon, okay. Es macht halt keinen Sinn, ohne Feuer da lang zu laufen. Okay, es ist so dunkel, dass ich nicht mehr was sehe. Aber ihr sollt ja auch ein bisschen was sehen. Und ich sehe immer noch nichts. Hä? Okay, wie will man das schaffen, da durchzuschleichen? Das ist ein Witz. Tut mir leid, das ist aber ein Witz. Das schafft man nicht.
What's she doing? She's lighting a torch. She's making light. She's making a fire.
She's got light on the other side.
She'll be safe. What's the plan? What's she thinking?
Das muss man aber erstmal wissen, dass man da hinkommt. Das muss man erstmal wissen.
Now she can. She can do it. Stop! Stop it. Keep going. Stop it. Let me quick. She can't get through. She has to. Force it. Get up! Get up! What are you doing?
So. Das ist natürlich easy.
Faster, faster. Keep going. Keep going. What is she doing? Stop! Stop it. Keep going. Stop beating the members.
Ihr macht mich fertig, Stimmenkopf. Ihr macht mich fertig.
Stop! Stop it. Let me quick.
She can't help but think of him. A tender guiding flame in a world so black. The longer it burned, the more she convinced herself that there was nothing beyond its reach. How little separates us from what we fear.
Keep the torch alight.
Sigurd learns that Brynhild had once disobeyed Odin, and so he had her punished, stuck her with a sleek thorn, and put her body within a rampart of burning shields. Only a man who knew no fear would ever reach her. But like me, Sigurd is fearless and passes through the flames, just as I did, and wakes the sleeping warrior girl. She teaches him the secret wisdom of runes, namely victory runes, ship runes, runes for persuasion, runes for truth, runes for healing and help, runes for perception and power. Like Sigurd, the greatest young warrior of the North, you must learn the secrets of the runes to fight amongst the gods in hell.
Habe ich gar richtig gezählt? 3 oder 4, ne? Drei oder 4 Geschichtsrunen nur noch. Oh, die Wände aus den Wänden. Don't touch me. I'm busy. Please. Oh nein. Nein.
I hear you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming. Dillian, I see you. The beast has Dillian. No! You're not taking it from me.
I warn you, Senua. I can smell your...
No!
You betrayed your god.
I am leaving with him.
You turned your back on me. That is why Dillian will rot in hell. Come into my shadow.
Go. Get up quick. She's injured. She can still do it.
What the fuck? Ich kann nichts machen. Ich habe A gedrückt. Ich kann nichts machen. Ich habe wirklich A gedrückt. Mein Gott! Ich hab Blocken gedrückt eigentlich noch. Ich finde den Bosskampf echt nicht gut gemacht. Ich finde den wirklich nicht gut. Ich finde ihn echt nicht gut. Ich hasse diesen Bosskampf, der ist echt nicht gut gemacht, Mann. Der ist echt scheiße. Boah, der Kampf ist wirklich scheiße und langweilig. Ich habe A gedrückt, danke Spiel. Ich hab keine Ahnung, was hier passiert. Ich sehe nicht. Ja, jetzt sehe ich wieder was. Ich habe nichts mehr gesehen. Das ist wirklich kein guter Bosskampf. Wirklich nicht. Das ist kein guter Bosskampf. Es ist wirklich kein guter Bosskampf, nein. Es ist wirklich kein guter Bosskampf, nein. Ich finde den Bosskampf wirklich nicht gut gemacht. bin ein bisschen sauer. Ich bin ein bisschen wütend über den Bosskampf. Aber ich finde ihn wirklich nicht gut. Ich weiß nicht, was passiert. Mein Gott, ist das kein guter... Ich habe wirklich keine Ahnung, was hier passiert. Ich habe A gedrückt, wirklich. Ich habe A gedrückt. Und es passiert wirklich gar nichts. Wie lange will diese Farce denn noch gehen?
People think of evil as an unnatural, invisible force, and so invoke the gods for protection. But evil can come from the hand behind the gods. A familiar hand, cold and cruel. He tried to fix her with his rituals, kept her trapped in that hole. She couldn't say which was worse. The darkness. Or the monster that her father had become. She couldn't fight them both. And so she left. Headed for the one ray of light that shone down on her. If she had stayed, she wouldn't have survived. But maybe Delian would still be alive.
I'm so sorry, my love.
She will save his soul. Even if this time she can't save her own.
Forgive me, Senua. I know you have no reason to trust me anymore.
Shadow, listen.
But believe this. It was my mission to make you hate. To hate the darkness with a passion so great it would focus your mind on this quest. But without him, I've been left slack. All this time, I've wanted to protect you from the truth that would have destroyed you a long time ago. But you have conquered your darkness at every turn.
Stay alert, Senua.
You deserve to see behind the veil of darkness.
Then take me to
He
the
wants
mountain,
her to trust him.
as deep as we can go.
I won't stand in your way.
She has to trust him.
You will not survive what is in there.
I know.
What else can she do? She doesn't want to tell. She has nothing. She has nothing.
Oh, ich finde den Boss echt crap, muss ich wirklich sagen. Aber wir haben ihn jetzt hinter uns. Alles okay. Er war trotzdem crap. Ja? Da passt mein Wut-Emote sehr gut rein.
Mother, I won't let the darkness trick me again. I know you're safe with the gods. I can feel Hela's gaze, searching for secrets inside of me. Secrets that even I can't see. I'm not here to fight my past. I'm here for Dillian. I will fulfill my vow, whatever the cost.
She has to kill Hela. It's the only way. Now she has openness. She can do it. The sworn slave. She can see it. The bridge. She can't cross the bridge. It's broken. She has to fix it. It's too dangerous. She's done it before. She can't fix it. She's done it before. She can. She can. She'll do it again. How's she gonna fix it? How will she do it?
There must be.
Northmen say the world will come to an end. They call this Ragnarok, the destiny of the gods. First, there will be a terrible winter, 3 years long. Then, mankind will turn on itself. Brothers will fight each other to the death, and people will forget what they owe their kindred. Times will be hard. Crimes will be great. It will be an age of axes and swords. The wind will blow through abandoned halls. Wolves will walk where children played. The world will fall into ruin.
3 Runen fehlen uns noch. Schauen wir erstmal nach, was es hier gibt. Sieht so aus, als ob es hier weitergehen würde, ne? Okay, der Teil der Brücke ist schon mal wieder repariert. Drei noch. Und wir haben bis jetzt keinen übersehen.
How will she do it?
Bin. War gerade etwas geistig umnachtet.
Where does that keep us? How will she get it?
Nicht nur ein bisschen. Nicht nur ein bisschen.
No. She cannot bargain with Hella. She's not strong enough to kill her. What does Hella already? No one can bargain with Hella. What does Hella want? What can she give her? She could give her her own soul. No. She'd rather die. It's a worthless soul. But it's all she has to give. She has a warrior soul. What more could she give? A cursed soul. Of course she is, no matter what she does. She can feel the world crying above her. She can fight her. She can fight her at Ragnarok. She's a warrior. She's coming this way. She can see it. The bridge. She can't cross the bridge. It's broken. She has to fix it. It's too dangerous. She's done it before. You have to fight her. Be powerful. The final battle. Get his soul back. It's the final task.
Yes, it is. This isn't just a broken bridge, is it? Mother, you showed me how to see further. To see the hidden wonders in our world and explore new paths into the unknown. To lead so that others may follow, or to warn so that they may avoid. That is our gift and our duty. I'm not going to look away in fear anymore.
The Northmen say the gods will fight their last battle at Ragnarok. Their watchmen will blow the horn that can be heard through the whole world. And Odin will speak with the severed head of Mimir, which gives him good counsel. The land of the giants will thunder with the sound of their army on the move. The gods will assemble. The dwarves will leave their stones. The frost giants will come from the east. The Midgard serpent will turn up the waves. Eagles will scream and tear at the corpses with their yellow beaks. The ship of the dead will set sail.
Der Mann ist sehr enthusiastisch. Der gute Mann. Nee, von hier sehen wir es noch nicht.
She can do it. She can do it. She can still see the secrets of the gods. She thinks he's so special. She must
Okay.
She has the sight. She can see her secrets. There's an illusion. She's found a way. There's a way. She can see. She must align herself. She can do it. There's the time. She aligns herself. It's there.
So, wie kriege ich das jetzt hin, dass ich aber die Brücke sehe? Ja, so wahrscheinlich.
The Northmen say that at Ragnarok, the gods will face a ship full of their foes, which Loki has steered to Asgard. It carries the fire giants, the wolf that will eat the sun, and all kinds of dark creatures. Surt will join them with his sword of fire. The cliffs will crash, trolls will walk the land, men will tread the road to hell, and the heavens will split open.
Eine noch, Leute, eine. Wir sind sehr nah am Finale dran. Das Spiel ging aber dann doch noch mal etwas länger als als ich wirklich dachte. Denn ich dachte ehrlich gesagt, dass wir heute schon durch wären damit. Also jetzt schon durch wären. Ich hätte nicht gedacht, dass wir knapp... Ja, ich denke, wir werden so 2,5 Stunden brauchen. Also insgesamt, jetzt nicht noch drauf gerechnet. Das ist der letzte Stein.
Say that each god will do battle at Ragnarok. Odin will fight the monstrous wolf and be killed, but his son will avenge him and plunge his sword into the heart of the beast. Freyr will face Surt, but he had given his sword away for love, and without it, he cannot defend himself against the flames. Thor will smite the Midgard serpent to no avail. The sun will grow black, the earth will sink into the sea, the stars will disappear, fire and water will meet, steam will shoot up, flames will play against the sky, the heavens and earth and all the world will be burned, all the gods will be dead, and the warriors of Valhalla and the people everywhere. Senua, prepare yourself for Ragnarok. For it is nigh.
Krass. Das endet also damit, dass alle sterben werden. Toll. Wow. Wie cool vom Spiel, mir da 2 hinzustellen. Ich hab A gedrückt. Das ist immer so lächerlich, ne? Wenn man diese Scheiß-Taste drückt und trotzdem getroffen wird. Ah, anstrengend. Ich denke, es fehlt nicht mehr viel bis zum Finale. Wir sind kurz davor. Sehr nah dran. Ich kann es schon fast greifen. Also so knapp sind wir schon davor bestimmt. Also so richtig. Ernsthaft. Obwohl ich es mir nicht vorstellen kann. Aber trotzdem. Es wird so sein. Wahrscheinlich. Bestimmt. Hat gespeichert. Es muss so sein. Na dann über die Brücke. Mit unseren kleinen Ärmchen hier. Oh, ein bisschen konzentrieren. Alter. Ein bisschen anstrengend hier gerade mit den Kämpfen. Anstrengend.
I can sense her. Where is she going? Wait. What? What happens when she dies? What happens to us? What happens to us? We die too. Do we die too? We die too. I don't want to die.
We'll all die someday.
I don't want to die.
And when everyone's gone, even the gods will die.
We don't want to die. I don't want to die. Senua, stop. Turn back. Stop. Stop her. die. She won't stop. Stop. I don't want to die.
I'm sorry. I didn't ask you to be a part of me. If you don't want to die with me, then leave me alone.
I don't want to die. Please stop. 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 You'll never come back if you go there.
There is nothing to go back to.
We only have each other now. Don't abandon me.
Everyone suffers. They were right about me.
Listen to me, not them. They were afraid. Like children scared of the dark.
So was I.
They made up monsters to fill the void. That doesn't make them real.
They made them real.
No!
Follow your soul and let go of the Senua of old. For there lies your weakness, and the darkness will find it.
Zur Hölle, Alter.
It's not like the old stories, is it? The noble warrior facing evil in search of victory and honor. Clear dividing lines. No. Oh, this place is not quite like that. It's as if it knows that true torment lies within. Memories you cannot defeat, cannot escape. This is her hell.
Seek answers in this truth.
Gods betray us.
Unwise ask fear.
The man I was before Druth. Was a true coward, Senua. I was well traveled. I spoke both their tongue and ours. So they took me as a slave. I thought I could help to broker peace. Or at least stay their hands from slaughter. But under torture, I did no such thing. I led them to the treasures and slaves they sought. But I wasn't the only one. Another came to the Northmen willingly, offering a bargain, a man in black from your lands. And he was offered safe passage for his treason. In the end, Senua, it isn't the gods that cause us so much suffering, but those closest to us.
I'm here for Dillian.
Wait,
Mother!
don't see me like this. Turn away, Senua! Turn away, Senua!
You see it, Snow? You see the darkness, faces fear and suffering. You can see it.
I remember it clearly now.
She has nothing to fear anymore. The gods have saved your mother. Through my hand.
You killed her.
It is the will of the gods.
Fuck the gods! You did this to her! Why?
This is what happens when you listen to the voices of the underworld. They crawl into your soul and rot you from the inside. Defy the gods like your mother, and the darkness will come for you too. You understand, son?
I do understand. You cursed me with your own madness. I was just a child. You created this darkness! You created this darkness so you could hide behind it!
Only suffering brings salvation. It is the way of the gods.
It was all a lie. You are a lie! She didn't defy the gods. She defied you. And so you killed her.
You didn't pray to the gods. You prayed to your mother. Your mother, who was too weak to fight the darkness and abandoned you.
You tortured her. You killed her. You are the darkness.
Those rituals, the years of isolation, the pain that still haunts you. It was the only way to fight the curse within you.
You're a liar.
The darkness is inside you and it will destroy you.
You're a liar!
No, Senua. The darkness is here. You cannot wish it away. And it will watch as you draw your last dying gasp.
I won't let you kill me. Ah!
Ich krieg ordentlich auf die Fresse, aber es ist echt episch. Ich hab Parry gedrückt, das gibt's doch nicht.
Behind you. Behind you. Careful, Seele.
Ich konnte nicht ausweichen. Ich bin in den einen hier festgebackt. Bullshit.
Through your darkness. You're a liar and a murderer. And if you really are Hela, then I have a sword here that can kill a god.
To wallow in your miserable past. You're making a mistake searching for Dillion. The same mistake that killed him in the first place. I'm trying to save you from yourself. You saw them that is a lie. The plague of darkness, the butchering of Dillion by the Northmen. You saw it yourself.
You told everyone I was cursed. They believed you. I believed you.
Tell me, Senua, where is Dillion's soul if the darkness is alive? How you saved him?
I know he's here. Dillion, I know you're here. Hold on. I'll find you.
Oh toll, es ist der Boss wieder. Das ist doch ein Witz. Ich hasse diesen Boss. Also ohne Witz, der ist wirklich scheiße.
You're trying to trick me again with your lies. I know he's here. You took him from me. You have him.
Dillion is gone. Dillion is dead. Let him go now. I'm warning you.
Or what? What can you do to me that you haven't already? Fight me. Come on.
Ein Moment. Das ist gerade relativ wichtig hier. Okay.
You betrayed your own father. You betrayed the gods in search of Dillion, in search of love. Look where that's got you. Let go of your battle. Let go of redemption. Let
Mein Gott!
go of Dillion.
Muss man wieder Gegner spammen in so einem Spiel, ja? Muss man das?
Don't let your darkness hurt anyone else.
Let go. Go, Senua. You're killing yourself. Careful, Senua.
Ich sehe nichts.
And there's no dance. And you never took him from me, did you? And I can't save Dorian. Is that what you want me to believe? After all you've done to me? And to him? You're not a lie, but you're a liar! You crawled into me to confuse me and deceive me. But I know it's him. I know you have him. I'll give you my life. That's what you want, isn't it? My soul. Take it. I'll be a slave for you. I'll fight with you at Ragnarok. If you release it. Quest. Nothing. And you will have no power over me.
I learned the hard way to not be afraid of death, Senna. Because a life without loss is one without love. You turn your back on death, and all you can see is the shadow that it casts. The longer you hide from it, the longer the shadow grows until All you can see is darkness. When our time comes, we must look death in the eye and embrace it as a friend. Only then can we let go of our fear. And emerge from that darkness.
Never forget what it is like to see the world as a child, Samuel. Every autumn leaf is like a work of art. Every rolling cloud a moving picture. Every day a new story. We too emerge from this magic, like a wave from the ocean, only to return to the sea. Do not mourn the waves, the leaves, and the clouds. Even in darkness, the wonder and the beauty of this world never leaves us. It is always there, waiting to be seen again.
This is where my story once began. And so it has to end here. Because I cannot see further than this.
Follow us. We have another story to tell.
My friend, go with her. This now will be your story to witness.
It's hard to tell how mixed up you feel. Hoping what
Ich hoffe mal, sie ist nicht Copyright geschützt. Ich bete gerade ein bisschen darum. Ich werde aber gleich auch den Stream direkt offline nehmen und den dann runterladen. Weil wenn das wirklich sein sollte, möchte ich jetzt nicht wegen dem Lied ja, einen Strike bekommen. Ich habe keine Ahnung, was ich von dem Spiel halten soll. Ich habe keine Ahnung. Ich kann sagen, dass es technisch nicht so geil ist mit OBS. Also OBS hat echt Probleme mit dem Spiel. Ich habe keine Ahnung, was da passiert ist von der Story her. Ich habe keine Ahnung. Irgendwie geisteskrank, ja. Aber ich weiß, dass ein zweiter Teil kommt und mal schauen, ob wir den spielen werden. Je nachdem, wann der rauskommt. Und ich merke immer, dass meine Kamera sehr laggy ist wegen dem Spiel. Ja. Es ist ein sehr cooles, ich glaube, Indie-Spiel, ne? Es war sehr cool, auch wenn ich den vorletzten Boss nicht geil fand. Und dass am Ende nochmal jeder Boss irgendwie dran kam. Das war auch ein bisschen nervig, muss ich sagen. Ich bin echt laggy gerade unterwegs. Naja. Aber ja, ich habe alle Achievements aus dem Spiel. Das seltenste ist übrigens, alle Lore Stones zu collecten. Das haben nämlich nur 4% der Leute. Viel zu wenig, finde ich. Die Geschichte, die Lore Story, finde ich sehr interessant. Also muss ich wirklich sagen, die finde ich sehr interessant. War auch cool, dass sie so vorgestellt wurde. So wie sie halt vorgestellt wurde. Und ja. Es ist weniger laggy, ne? Ich habe gerade die Statistiken ausgemacht, wie der Stream gerade performt. Ich schaue auf jeden Fall mal, denn ich glaube nicht, dass wir jemals wieder die Follower-Alerts und sowas brauchen werden. Weil ich finde einen Stream ohne doch besser, muss ich gestehen. Der Stream hat sich ja jetzt nach und nach entwickelt, jetzt haben wir ja keinen Hintergrund mehr. Und ich denke, wir brauchen keine Alerts mehr. Ja, ich denke, das ist eine gute Entscheidung. Ich glaube, dann sparen wir uns auch noch mal ein bisschen Ressourcen auf dem PC, wenn ich die deaktiviere. Ja. Vielleicht ist euch auch schon aufgefallen, ich habe die Werbung deaktiviert. Auf Twitch. Auf YouTube sowieso. Und ich weiß gar nicht mehr, was ich sonst zu dem Spiel sagen soll. Deswegen habe ich das Thema gewechselt. Wie gesagt, geiles Spiel. Und vielleicht der zweite Teil. Je nachdem, ob mein PC das packt. Und die Stimmen haben mich auch echt verrückt gemacht, muss ich sagen. Von Senua. Wie viele Leute haben da mitgemacht, Alter? Einige scheinbar. Aber guck mal, ich habe gut geschätzt, 2,5 Stunden brauchen wir ungefähr fürs Spiel. Wir haben 2,5 Stunden gebraucht. Aber wir haben noch ein kleines Extra, deswegen werde ich auch gleich den Stream offline nehmen. Und wir haben gleich noch ein paar Videos, die wir uns anschauen können. Bei Extra. So Making-of-mäßig. Jetzt kommt gar keine Musik mehr. Vielleicht sind wir gleich am Ende. Vielleicht. Special thanks to the Ninjas. Ich gucke noch, ob ich irgendeinen von denen kenne, namentlich. Aber ich glaube nicht. Ich glaube, das sind jetzt die Kickstarter-Namen, ne? Ich glaube, das war ein Kickstarter-Spiel. Ich habe auch noch nie was bei Kickstarter gespendet. Ich wollte das schon immer mal machen, ne? Aber ich finde da irgendwie kein Spiel, was mich so wirklich interessiert. Ich beschäftige mich aber auch nicht genug damit. Ich glaube wirklich, dass es Kickstarter ist. Ich glaube ja. Aber wir lassen es ja wie immer in jedem Stream-Spiel, was wir durchspielen, durchgehen. Und morgen spielen wir ein kleines Horror-Game, was wir innerhalb eines Streams beenden werden. Und zwar haben wir das schon mal gespielt. 2020 Halloween, als der gute Dolm TV gerade nicht da war und ich dachte, dass wir das Spiel durchspielen bis dahin. Aber das haben wir leider nicht hinbekommen und wir werden es morgen durchspielen. Morgen Abend. Sollte so ein 2-3 Stunden Spiel durchspielbar sein. Das ist ein Mobile-Game ja eigentlich. Und das gibt es halt auch für den PC. Und mir ist der Name, es war nicht Distraction, heißt es, glaube ich. Ein kleines 2D-Spiel. Also, bin sehr gespannt. Ich habe es damals bis zu einem bestimmten Teil gespielt. Ja, es war ein Kickstarter, Leute. Auf dem Handy. Ich kann mich auch gar nicht mehr dran erinnern. Und im Stream haben wir nicht mal das erste Kapitel gespielt. Oh, es war ein Sony-Spiel. DualShock is a listed trademark of Sony Entertainment, Interactive Entertainment Inc. Library Programs for DualShock 4. Ja, es war ein PlayStation 4-Spiel. Umso besser, dass es auf den PC gekommen ist. Okay.
Stormy seas and lost souls.
Who is it?
She's dreamt of this before.
It's coming.
Das sind die Extras übrigens.
They say dreams are visions of our memories, thoughts and fears, as seen by our inner eye. But what if each one of us is always dreaming, even when awake? And we only see what our inner eye creates for us. Is this what hell is? A world shaped by Senua's nightmares. Maybe that's why people fear seeing the world through her eyes.
Yes, she's scared.
Because if you believe that Senua's reality is twisted, you must accept that yours might be too.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is a video game about Senua, a Celtic warrior on a vision quest into Viking territory. But what sets our hero Senua apart is that she suffers from severe psychotic mental illness.
He knows she's getting closer. He can feel her coming closer. She's getting closer. They're watching.
The original idea for Hellblade was to create a classic hero's journey, a journey of suffering, but one where the fantasy world is not another planet or alternate universe, but a world that is constructed in Senua's mind. But to do so would mean putting psychotic mental illness at the center of the experience, a subject that is still considered taboo, and a challenge that was both terrifying and exciting in equal measure. In Hellblade, the starting point was a newly discovered Celtic goddess called Senuna in Ashwell, Hertfordshire. When first discovered, her name was thought to be Senua, a name which I liked and kept. I wondered if Senua might have been a Celtic warrior like Boudica who stood up to the Romans. While the Romans had conquered all of Europe, there was a group of Celts up in the furthest reaches of the Roman Empire that could not be conquered, the Picts. And so the Romans built a wall, called Hadrian's Wall, that spans across Britain from sea to keep the Pictish barbarians at bay. The Picts were known for their war paint, painted on with woad, and their matted hair clumped with lime. And so Senua would be a barbarian Pict in this image.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't live home much.
Oh, Zeno's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait.
Orkney is off the coast of Scotland and was inhabited by the Picts, steeped in history and mystery, and so I made Orkney Senua's home and set the stage for a crisis. In the late 8th century, the first Vikings landed on the Orkney Islands. The population of the Picts crashed thereafter, replaced by the Norsemen of the 9th century. Were they wiped out? We don't know for sure, but it would seem likely given the reputation of the Vikings. The Northmen's brutality is legendary. High-ranking leaders and chieftains of the tribes they conquered were often offered as sacrifice to their gods. The most brutal of these sacrifices was known as the Blood Eagle. I imagine Senua as a young female warrior who returns home from exile to find her partner, Dillion, brutally sacrificed to a Norse god by these hellish warriors from a faraway land. I imagine the horror of this moment and how it would have dragged her deep into mental torment.
No!
I came to learn that the Celts had a sophisticated and nuanced perspective on the nature of mental disorder. One term they used was Gelt. A Gelt is a man or woman who has been driven mad by a curse, battle trauma, or grief. The Gelt would take to a life in the woods in search of penance, punishment, and purgation. And so Senua became a Gelt, cursed by darkness, looking for redemption in the wilds. Another word the Celts used in reference to mental disorders was druth, meaning fool, or
Liar.
one who utters the words of God. They tell of the mad sinner who flees battle into exile and takes on a beastly nature, growing feathers on his body. The character called Druth in Hellblade is based on a little-known person called Findan, an 8th century Irish Celt who was captured and enslaved by the Vikings, but eventually escaped to Orkney where he became a monk.
I will tell you my stories of hell, if I may walk with you.
Upon meeting Senua, it would be his stories that fuel her quest deep into their world of gods.
The Northmen say the world will come to an end.
The sun will grow black, the earth will sink into the sea, the stars will disappear, fire and water will meet, flames will play against the sky.
The heavens and earth and all the world will be burned, all the gods will be dead, and the warriors of Valhalla and people everywhere.
Senua, prepare yourself for Ragnarok, for it is nigh.
So the stage was set for a new adventure, a journey into the Norse underworld called Hell, a vision quest fueled by madness and myth, a fantasy that was created by Senua's own mind, and one that we would experience through her eyes.
This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left.
To make a game about a warrior with psychotic mental illness as its central theme was fraught with danger. Mental illness, such as psychosis, is still taboo and rarely acknowledged in a century of cinema, never mind the new medium of games. Where it does feature, it often conflates psychosis and psychopathy associated with a lack of empathy. It is unfortunate that these two words sound so similar that they are used interchangeably in media. I must admit that I didn't have to look very far to discover my own ignorance of the subject. So we reached out to Paul Fletcher, psychiatrist and professor of health neuroscience at University of Cambridge.
Psychosis is a descriptive term, and it refers to having a loss of contact with objective reality. So it's characterized by two main sets of symptoms. One of them is hallucinations, where somebody experiences perceptions when there is no actual objective thing out there to perceive.
You're already dead. Who are you?
And the other is delusions, where somebody comes to very often bizarre, unpleasant, frightening beliefs when there's no good evidence in favor of them.
There's no doubt about it. The source of the darkness is in Helheim. And the goddess Hela holds his soul there.
We reached out to Welcome, a biomedical research charity that spends billions on research and awareness programs aimed at improving health.
Mental health hasn't always been presented in the media in a way that is particularly helpful. It can be challenging to engage people with the subject matter, and there are a lot of preconceived ideas about mental health, and particularly schizophrenia and psychosis. So we hope our support allows the team to continue to collaborate with Paul Fletcher and with those who have experience of psychosis to create a game that provides a fresh perspective on the condition and allows audiences to engage with it in a way that just wouldn't be possible in any other medium.
What started out as a brief consultation convinced me that we were only scratching the surface of an immensely deep and interesting subject that could enrich and change the very nature of the game.
That's cool. Thanks so much for coming in.
Pleasure. Thanks. It's really interesting for me. I'd love to be involved. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Our understanding of psychosis is still very much a mystery, and ways of treating it are still primitive compared to physical illness. After all, it is easy to see the pain and suffering caused by physical diseases or physical trauma. It is not so easy to see the mental suffering and trauma.
Ich finde das sehr interessant, muss ich sagen.
But what if we could find a way to see it? Games are capable of drawing you in for hours on end, playing the role of a character who is different from you, experiencing their perspective, and actively involving you in a world that functions with a different set of rules. If we were to represent Senua's psychosis, we would have to simulate voice hearing, a common attribute. But how can we simulate something we have no first-hand experience of? Professor Charles Fernyhough, a leading expert in voice hearing from Durham University, offered his help.
Hearing voices is an experience that is usually associated with severe mental illness, and crucially we know that hearing voices is a part of ordinary life for many people who don't meet the criteria for mental illness.
Yeah. Oh, that's not him in real life.
We know voices vary according to where they appear in space. Voices can appear far away in the distance, they can appear right there in your ear, they can seem to be coming from inside your head.
Based on the information Professor Fernyhough provided, I put together a sound brief and invited some actors to the studio. We recorded the actors using a binaural microphone, which records the 3D spatial position of sound, replicating the way sound is heard by human ears. It gives you an incredible sense that the person you are listening to is right there beside you.
Can't see that she's going.
Rachel Waddingham from the Voice Collective came to our studio with 2 young voice hearers to speak to our team. We talked at length about their experiences, and they listened to our tests, giving us feedback on how we could improve on it.
Everyone hates her. She's cursed.
It's very hard to represent what this experience is like, partly because it's such a personal, intense, emotional experience. It's testament to how Ninja Theory have been listening to what the researchers are saying, but also crucially listening to the experts by experience. What they've come up with is so compelling. It's by far the best representation I've heard of what these experiences are like.
Other common attributes of psychosis are visions and flashbacks. We met with Recovery College East, who work with and care for people recovering from severe mental disorders. A group of service users gave us their first-hand account of what they experience.
Sometimes when the visions or what we're seeing is too much, it becomes more difficult until eventually we perhaps don't see anything.
The people we spoke to, the stories they told, were fascinating, harrowing, and mind-boggling. The reality of what people experienced was vivid, far exceeding what I could possibly have imagined. We went away itching to represent some of these visions and flashbacks in the game.
As we all know, my heart is so, love is so far away. Don't you know how I wanna feel deeper? I could never know how you grow, all these days are killing me. Now I see deep in me insanity does unfold. I just wanna feel deeper, deeper. I just wanna feel deeper, deeper. As we all know, my heart is so, love is so far away. Don't you know how I wanna feel deeper? I could never know how you grow, all these days are killing me. Feel like this, read like this, I just wanna live, that's all. I just wanna feel deeper, deeper. I just wanna feel deeper, deeper.
To refine our work, we continue to hold meetings with Recovery College East over the course of a year and a half, showing them what we had achieved so far and refining the in-game representations based on their feedback. With their help, flashbacks, visions and changes in perception were woven into the story and gameplay of Senua.
The students that are involved in this project are incredibly excited about being involved. They have described the experience as being important because it values their lived experience and shows that despite what we have been through, all of that experience becomes valid, that actually it's something that we should all be talking about.
The experiences described range from beautiful to frightening beyond comprehension. I heard of a girl who has to live with an angry voice screaming at her, slamming on her doors and walls 24 hours a day. I met someone who would often see hanging corpses in a room, so real that she would sometimes try to rescue them. The panic and fear that comes with such visions is entirely understandable, and it can be a living horror for some.
Worthless, weak, pathetic. Go on, feel sorry for yourself, because there is no one left to do that for you.
I was urged by one fellow that we should not shy away from showing this horror, and so I was perpetually torn in making Hellblade. Had we gone too far with our representations or not far enough?
Broken and lost. Just like your soul.
Come on.
In some ways, voice hearing and visions were the low-hanging fruit, so to speak. There's another aspect of psychosis that is much harder to explain, but one that I think video games are uniquely able to represent, which are often called delusions.
People begin to see patterns in the world. They begin to link things that most people wouldn't link. Most of the things that we might think would be coincidence or, not worth commenting on. Nevertheless, that might have a particular salience or importance for them.
One individual described how everyday words, sounds, colours and objects were steeped in meaning to him, forming a strange and sinister puzzle that he was determined to solve but could not quite get to the bottom of.
It's not just brain dysfunction. It's not like the system shut down. It's actually an incredibly creative process. The person creates a world populated with voices and phantasms and terrors, and they're completely immersed in it. They believe in it.
We often invite people into the studio to play the game. In one of our playtests, they played through much of the game, making associations between runes, secret messages, and the threat of darkness that stalked them. There are many things that happen in the world of Hellblade that make perfect sense within the context of Senua's mind. The dark rot that's killing her slowly from within, the secret runes of the gods that block her path to Helheim, and strange associations that exist in the game to confuse you. To complete Senua's quest, you have to internalize and accept the logic and meaning behind these things to progress. Afterwards, they said that they didn't see much evidence of mental illness in the game. People with delusions of all sorts would argue the same thing, that they are not aware of their experience being abnormal in any way.
I need this sword. It's important.
Representing perception changes and thinking patterns within Hellblade gives us a set of symptoms common in psychosis. But people with lived experience were keen to emphasize another point, that it is wrong to define a person by their symptoms. Quite often, the illness comes not from the symptoms, but from the stigma, isolation and mistreatment that comes about from the rest of society.
They say that I'm cursed. What if they're right?
I needed someone to portray Senua, someone who could believably internalize her suffering. Melina Jurgens, our video editor, had been a stand-in for Senua over a few months while we perfected our motion capture techniques. Without realizing it, she had already auditioned for the role, and I knew her well enough to know that I didn't have to teach her to act, but to relive her own internal pain. As often is the case, those who have suffered mental anguish are never far from us. My hope is that by creating a compelling and aspirational character in Senua who feels very much real, albeit in a fantasy setting, we can provide a lens into her reality, a different one to yours, and this is where storytelling comes into play. I imagined her life based on common threads in real people's lives. She was always prone to psychosis as a child. Her mother Galina also heard voices and had visions, so perhaps there was a genetic aspect. Or perhaps it was cultural, as she lived within a world without science, of gods and superstition, as exemplified by her druid father Zimbal. Psychosis developed in her late teens to early 20s and was exasperated by stigma and isolation at the hands of the clansmen and her father.
Stop, please. It's spreading.
The trauma of seeing her lover Dillian sacrificed tips her over the edge, making her remodel her reality around a concept that connects everything: the darkness. So the question is, what Senua experiences real? Can only be answered by saying, yes, it is real. It is her reality.
All of her suffering will have been for nothing. It's just a matter of time.
Towards the end of the project, service users and professionals that had collaborated with us were invited to see the near-final game. It was a chance to see if the game had reflected their views or if it had misrepresented them.
For me, being involved in especially developing Senua's character has been really important, and being able to bring in my perspective and what I see and what I hear, and having that built into the game has been a real privilege. It's gritty and it's meaty, and there are some tough subjects in there that are being tackled with honesty.
I was blown away by it today, absolutely blown away. It was just fantastic to get the opportunity to use our lived experience in a very creative way. There's nothing tokenistic about the work we've put in. It feels like we've been listened to, things have been taken on board, and I think there was a lot of realism in the game itself, and it feels very authentic.
Hellblade will give people a good experience of what it's like to hear voices and have those experiences. I'm glad that the guys at Ninja Theory kind of asked us to come along and help them build an experience that's positive when it comes out, and get myself a copy and have a go.
I think all the way through I was really inspired by how the conversations have translated into the game in a way that I think I didn't imagine was possible. So wonderful, really wonderful.
I really hope that others will follow the lead they've set and use the power of something like a video game to change people's perceptions, to increase understanding, and ultimately to make some of the stigma around voice hearing and other experiences go away.
For me, it was really exciting to see something that I explore scientifically being represented so beautifully in a character who's trying to penetrate the mysteries of the environment in which they've been placed, with all of this strange uncertainty and noise and conflicting information that they're getting. I'm very excited by this way of trying to represent mental illness, because I think it actually might be offering us insights that we wouldn't get from pure scientific explorations, and actually giving us quite an empathic view of what it might be like.
Mental illness has been with us for as long as we have been on this planet, but why? Why has an evolution stamped out this weakness from within our gene pool? I often pondered this question until I realized that the question had an inbuilt flaw. It assumes that being and thinking differently is a weakness. The only reason we have computers, spacecraft, medicine, poetry, art, and yes, even video games is because individuals are able to simulate new abstract realities in their minds and share them with the rest of us. We need people to be willing to see differently in order for us to progress and survive as society. And we need to be open to these new ways of seeing. And it is this spirit that motivated me to create Senua's story and share it with you.
Ja. Ich fand das sehr krass gerade, muss ich wirklich sagen. Also das Video war sehr gut. Es war sehr aufschlussreich und muss sagen, dass es ein grandioses Ende war für dieses Spiel. Will schon sagen, das ist ein Horrorgame, oder? Text hat es. Atmosphärisch, psychologisch. Boah, es ist doch kein Horrorgame. Es ist ein Adventure- und Rätselspiel, würde ich sagen. Fern von Horror. So, ja, das war's mit meinem Stream. In ein paar Wochen wird es das dann auf YouTube geben oder ein paar Tagen, je nachdem, wie schnell ich denn bin. Ich werde das aber jetzt erstmal offline nehmen bei Twitch, weil, wie gesagt, ich will nicht gesperrt werden oder sonstiges dafür. Also ich bedanke mich vielmals fürs Zuschauen. Naja. Das war's. Morgen, wie gesagt, anderes Spiel. Bis dahin, haut rein. Ciao.